Hello everyone and welcome back to my lecture of the chapter D and A block elements. आपको याद होगा मैंने कहा था कि this chapter is split up into two parts, D block element and A block element. So first of all, let's finish here D block elements. In the previous lecture, you know that we have gone through the different types of series that exist for the D block elements. We have also gone through what is their general electronic configuration as well as their nomenclature. I mean, what are their names for the different series. Okay. Now, in the today's lecture, we had to see the general characteristics of the D block elements. Okay. So first of all, यहाँ पे मैंने बोर्ड पे लिखा है कुछ पॉइंट्स सो दैट आवर टाइम वी कैन सेव. सो फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज हियर, मोस्ट ऑफ द ट्रांजिशन एलिमेंट्स दे एग्जिबिट मेटेलिक प्रॉपर्टीज सच एज malleability, ductility as well as metallic luster. So you can see these are the characteristics of metals. So malleability का जो मतलब होता है means by hammering them we can make the thin sheets of them. Then the property that is known as ductility, I mean they are ductile, जिनसे मतलब हम लोग स्ट्रेच करके उनको वायर्स हम लोग बना सकते हैं. Then they have the property of metallic luster. You know that obviously this property is there because they are having the free electrons. So that's why they will show shine. That's why this property they exist. जो होता है मतलब लस्टर का मतलब होता है वो है they are showing shining. Okay. Then property number 2, both n-1d as well as ns electron take part in the metallic bonding. Okay. That's why you know that अगर हम बात करते हैं इन एलिमेंट्स की तो they have general configuration as n-1, yes, n-1d 1 to 10. आपको पता होगा ये they have the configuration n-1 d 1 to 10 and ns 1 या फिर 2. So this is their general electronic configuration. So both n-1d, I mean these electrons as well as ns electrons, they take part in the metallic bonding. Yes, that's why they form compact structure. Compact मतलब जहाँ पे कम से कम space vacant होगा. So there is no vacant space. Okay, or we can say here less amount of vacant space. So obviously they are having high density. आपको पता होना चाहिए the formula for density is mass upon volume. तो obviously अगर इनका जो structure होता है ये होता है compact, so उनका ज़्यादा यहाँ पे हो जाएगा mass, and that's why mass ज़्यादा होने से इनका जो होगा density ये भी ज़्यादा होता है because of the compact structure. Next, they are also having high melting point as well as boiling point. Students, the reason is same as both n-1d and ns electron. हम यहाँ पे कहेंगे कि ये इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है they will participate in the bond formation. Let me tell you, these kind of elements they possess both the covalent bond as well as yes metallic bond. So because of the presence of so many electrons, the bonding is very firm. Okay, that's why to break this bonding more amount of energy will be required. That's why they are having high melting point as well as boiling points. Point number 3, they are good conductors of heat and electricity. I told you, yes, in case of conduction process, whether of electricity or the heat, we need here freely moving electrons. So as these metals, they possess electrons, that's why they are good conductors of heat and electricity. Point number 4, you know that we can say point number 2 is useful here. They show variable oxidation states. Yes, as both N-1d as well as Ns electrons take part in the metallic bonding, so these elements, they possess variable oxidation states. Okay, then in most of the cations, they contain unpaired electrons. Presence of unpaired electrons, you know that it is also one of the reason why these elements, they form colored compounds. I will explain in detail. It is also known as a DD transition, उसको हम देखेंगे बाद में, बट फिलहाल आपको ये ध्यान में रखना है कि these elements, they contain more unpaired electrons, then they can form large number of complexes. Obviously, for the complex formation, there is a requirement that the central metal atom, it should possess vacant orbitals. So यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे D block elements, they possess vacant orbitals. Then they also have high charge to radius ratio. इनका जो होता है charge upon radius, ये जो रेशियो होता है ये ज़्यादा होता है, means they are having high charge and small radius. So because of this, they can form large number of complexes. Okay, at the same time, the presence of here variable oxidation states also helpful for the formation of complexes. They can show here the catalytic properties. You know that catalyst is that substance which can increase the rate of chemical reaction, and for this catalyst must have large surface area so that it can become adsorbent and the chemical reaction can take place on the surface of that adsorbent. So as they possess large surface area, they can also act as catalyst. For example, आपको पता है यहाँ पे जितने भी एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, जैसे कि निकेल, देन कैडमियम, ओके, पैलेडियम, platinum, they can act as catalysts in the process of hydrogenation. Then they can form organometallic compounds. अभी आपने पढ़ा होगा शायद ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री में Grignard's reagent. You know that it's that reagent, it is also known as a alkyl magnesium halides. So such a kind of a reagent, they are called as organometallic compounds. Means organic compound with a metal. Such a kind of a D block element, they also form here organometallic compounds. So we can say these are the general characteristics of D block elements. Then next is here, students, general trends in properties of the first row elements. आपको पता है इसमें क्या क्या होता है? स्कैंडियम, टिटेनियम, वैनेडियम, क्रोमियम, मैग्नीज, आयरन, कोबाल्ट, निकेल, copper and zinc. All these elements are there and they are the elements of the first row, I mean for the 3D series. Okay, तो इनके यहाँ पे क्या होंगे characteristics? So first of all we will discuss here metallic character. Students, these are the elements. They are hard, lustrous, malleable, ductile. ये तो मैंने आपको बताया है इनके बारे में. अभी ये होते हैं, they are having high tensile strain. The meaning of the word tensile strain means here they are having high load bearing capacity. They are having high load bearing capacity. That is also known as a tensile strength. Then they possess high thermal electrical conductivity. At the same time, they are also having high melting point and boiling point. The reason I told you, as they contain lots of free electrons from N-1d as well as Ns, so here they can show this property. most of these elements, they possess the structures like hexagonal close packed structure, cubic close packed structure, body center cubic structure. So we can say that they possess the characteristics of the true metals. In the chapter of solid state, we have to see it in detail. I will tell you in detail about this in the chapter number 1, no, solid state. So they possess hexagonal close packed structure or cubic close packed structure or body center cubic structure. So we can say these are the metals. I mean they have the property of the true metals. Okay. See, they have low ionization potential values, and also they possess lots of vacant orbitals, and these characteristics are responsible why they are having metallic bonds. So presence of low IP values and presence of vacant orbitals, they are responsible for the formation of metallic bond. Okay. Then hardness reason, as I told you, these elements, they are also harder. The reason is that they possess more unpaired electrons. As the number of unpaired electrons, it will increase, their hardness will also increase. For example, अगर हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे, chromium, molybdenum, tungsten, they have maximum number of unpaired electrons. That's why these are the metals, they are very very hard. So we can say they are hard because they contain unpaired electron. जहाँ तक सवाल है क्रोमियम का, आपको पता है क्रोमियम shows anomalous electronic configuration. So our chromium का होता है atomic number 24. So it has, yes, argon, that is 18, then 3d5 and 4s1. Now you can see it has 5 unpaired electrons. Okay, so such a kind of same thing can happen for molybdenum as well as tungsten. They contain more number of unpaired electrons. That's why it is, there is a formation of metallic bond will take place, and hence we can say they are very much hard. On the other hand, zinc, cadmium, hydrazine, mercury, they are not very much hard. The reason is that they contain almost paired electrons. So इलेक्ट्रॉन का जब भी होगा पेयरिंग, तो ये यहाँ पे मेटेलिक बॉन्ड या फिर कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड बनाने में नहीं लेंगे इंटरेस्ट. दैट्स व्हाई दे आर नॉट सो मच हार्ड. सो प्रेजेंस ऑफ unpaired electrons, we can say here, is nothing but the responsible for the property of hardness. I told you both metallic as well as covalent bond exist in such a kind of the elements. Okay, तो ये है इनकी properties. Now I just think that you should note all these points properly. This chapter is very very important for you. Let's now discuss here regarding their melting points and boiling point. For the transition elements. So if you see, as compared to the representative elements, there, for this kind of elements, they are having really have high melting points as well as boiling point. I am telling it for the transition elements. Okay, if you see across the period, as we move from left to right, there melting point and boiling point. Here we will see what will happen for the melting point. If you see properly, their melting point, it will go on increasing first of all, then it will have high peak value, and then it goes on decreasing. So across any period for the transition elements, if you see it properly, as we move from left to right, melting point first of all increases regularly, then attains peak value, and then it goes on decreasing. You can see here in the graph for technetium as well as for Mn, for these two elements, their melting points are, they are exceptionally low. So for, we can say, for technetium and manganese, they are having exceptionally low melting points, maybe because of their, we can say, complicated structure. Their melting point are low. Otherwise, if you see, there is a regular trend followed. First of all, melting point goes on increasing, then attains high value, and then it can, it goes on decreasing. Okay, अगर हम बात करते हैं तो इनका रीजन क्या होगा, why their melting points are like this. Their melting points are high because of their compact structure. I told you. Actually, उनका जो होता है melting point, their melting point will be high because of here closely packed structure and because of number of unpaired electrons. ओके, अगर हम बात करते हैं एलिमेंट्स की, जैसे कि है जिंक, देन कैडमियम एंड हाइड्रोजन, आई मीन मर्क्यूरी, फॉर दिस एलिमेंट्स दे आर हैविंग लो मेल्टिंग पॉइंट्स. लो मतलब दे आर हैविंग melting point below 1000 Kelvin. So you can see they are not exist here. If you see this graph properly, this is the graph of melting point which is taken in Kelvin against the transition elements. So here for these elements like zinc, cadmium and mercury, they have low melting point because they have D10 electronic configuration. I mean in their d orbitals, all the electrons they get paired, I mean they have completely filled d orbitals. So like this they will have, if you see it properly, dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square. So here all the electrons are paired like this for these kind of elements like zinc, cadmium as well as mercury. So they are having, yes, low melting points, okay, because they are having completely filled d orbitals. We can say here as the number of unpaired electrons, as the number of unpaired electrons increases here, then melting point also increases. ओके, तो आपको पता होगा यहाँ पे जैसे ही इनका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट यहाँ पे, मतलब जैसे ही इनमें बढ़ेंगे नंबर ऑफ अनपेड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, तो इनका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट यहाँ पे क्या होगा, ज्यादा होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू सी इट प्रॉपरली, चलो हम यहाँ पे देखते हैं. आपको पता है फॉर टिटेनियम, स्कैंडियम, टिटेनियम के लिए होता है 22, देन वैनेडियम के लिए होता है 23, फॉर क्रोमियम देयर इज 24. For titanium we can write here argon, then here 3d2 and 4s2, argon 3d3 and again 4s2. For chromium, you know that it's anomalous, having 3d5 and 4s1. It is having anomalous electronic configuration. आपको मालूम होना चाहिए, पहले यहाँ पे 4s भरेगा, बाद में यहाँ पे 3d भरेगा. Okay, so here you can see there is the presence of 2 electrons, then there are 3, and now here there are 5. So here, as the number of unpaired electrons in the d orbital, it will increase. Yes, then the melting point will also increase. लेकिन जैसे ही आगे यहाँ पे बढ़ते हैं हम लोग, आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो, now the graph is like this, means after picking the peak value here, in this case it goes on decreasing. The reason is that यहाँ पे D5 पूरा होने के बाद पेयरिंग होना शुरू हो जाएगा. So जैसे ही यहाँ पे पेयरिंग होना शुरू हो जाएगा, for 3d6 we can write the configuration like this here. For 3d6, 1 2 3 4 5. You know that Hertz rule, we have to fill all the orbitals singly with the parallel spin. जैसे ही यहाँ पे हो जाएगा 3d6, तो 6 वाला इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ पे आएगा, फिर 7th वाला यहाँ पे, 8th वाला यहाँ पे. तो आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो, जैसे जैसे 3d5 के आगे हम बढ़ेंगे, number of unpaired electrons they goes on decreasing, and that's why here melting point will also goes on decreasing. So from this graph we can say it clearly. Okay, तो यहाँ पे इसीलिए क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पे इनका वैल्यू ऐसे कम आ रहा है. ठीक है. So this we can say, you can see for iron, cobalt and nickel, almost they are having the same melting points. So this we can say regarding the melting point of these elements. One, we should know that zinc, cadmium and mercury, they are having paired electrons. They are having D10 configuration, I mean almost all filled orbitals, absence of any unpaired electron. That's why they are having low melting points. And technetium as well as manganese के लिए इनके values आते हैं low because of their complicated structure. So we have discussed regarding the melting point here. Okay, is that clear? I just think that you should note down all these things properly. Then the next point here is enthalpy of atomization. So we can see here for the 3D series, as we move from scandium to zinc, these are the values. You know that enthalpy of atomization, it is expressed in kilojoules per mole. And if you see here, as we move from left to right, at the middle you are getting the high values of enthalpy of atomization. The reason is that presence of unpaired electrons. So you know that D1, D2, D3. So in this way there is a increase in the number of unpaired electrons. At the same time, it will also increase their interatomic relationship. So that is the reason why their enthalpy of atomization is higher at the middle. So at the middle they are having the high values of enthalpy of atomization. So we can say here ultimately, yes, these are the elements, they exhibit that interatomic interactions. So I will give one word here, interatomic interactions. Interatomic interactions. Interatomic interactions at the middle because of the presence of unpaired electrons. So at the middle they are having the high values of enthalpy of atomization. Okay, if you see for the densities, डेंसिटी की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो पहले वाले जो एलिमेंट है ना, लाइक स्कैंडियम, उनके लिए डेंसिटी कम होगा बिकॉज देयर इज ओनली प्रेजेंस ऑफ वन अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन. And the elements which are present at the middle, as the number of unpaired electrons will increase, their density will also goes on increasing. You know that for osmium we have seen that there is a high density. So that we have to say regarding the enthalpy of atomization. Then the students, the next property is here ionization enthalpy. You know that it is the amount of energy that is required to remove most loosely bound electron from an isolated gaseous atom. That is known as the ionization enthalpy. That is also known as ionization potential. Remember, it is measured in the unit kilojoules per mole. So enthalpy of ionization की अगर हम यहाँ पे बात करेंगे, so these are the variation. You know, I just think that graphically अगर हम इसको लिखते हैं कुछ इस तरीके से इसका ग्राफ बनेगा. You can see here is the presence of transition elements, and here the values of the first enthalpy of enthalpy of ionizations are expressed. तो मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा है फर्स्ट IP मतलब होता है यहाँ पे फर्स्ट आयोनाइजेशन पोटेंशियल, जो कि मैंने किलो जूल्स पर मोल में एक्सप्रेस किया हुआ है. उसको वैल्यूज आर स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम हियर 600, then 700, 800 and 900, and there are different series also given here. Now let's see here, अगर हम बात करते हैं आयोनाइजेशन एंथैल्पी की, so their values they lies in between that of the S block and P block elements. आपको पता है अगर हम देखते हैं इनका पोजीशन कहाँ है पे, they are present at the center. So on their left hand side there is a presence of S block element, you know that, which are having strongly electropositive characters, and on their right hand side there is the presence of P block elements, and you know that they are mostly electronegative. तो यहाँ पे इनका जो होता है पोजीशन, their position is in between S block element as well as P block element. So here we can say their enthalpy of ionizations, they are in between that of the S block element and P block element. For S block element, you know that they have very low value for enthalpy of ionization because of having larger size. P block के लिए यहाँ पे ज़्यादा होगा क्योंकि इनका साइज छोटा होता है, और इनके बिल्कुल इंटरमीडिएट में होता है आयोनाइजेशन एंथैल्पी वैल्यूज फॉर द D block elements. ओके, अभी हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे some of the features I have written on the board. The first one is here, their IP, I mean ionization potential, lies in between S block and P block. I will also use here one marker for your proper understanding. So you can see here smaller atomic radii as well as higher nuclear charge. आपको पता है across any period as we move from left to right, atomic size goes on decreasing. That's why here we can say here atomic size goes on decreasing across left to right. आपको पता है alkali metals they are biggest in size and halogens they are smallest. So I mean from left to right their size will go on decreasing. So smaller atomic radii and higher nuclear charge. As we move from left to right across any period, atomic number increases by 1 unit. So they are having higher nuclear charge. So that is the reason their IP values they lie in between the S as well as P block element. So for S block element we can say their IP values they are higher, and reverse is the case for the P block element. Okay, point number 2 में अगर हम बात करेंगे, the first IP value increases with increase in atomic number, although increase is not regular. अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे तो इनका यहाँ पे जो IP का वैल्यूज है ये क्या हो रहा है, it goes on increasing, but ये जो increase है ये regular नहीं है. The reason is that here both here n-1d as well as ns electron they get involved. तो जैसे ही यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रॉन एंटर होगा, इलेक्ट्रॉन का एंट्री कहाँ पे होता है, इलेक्ट्रॉन गेट एंटर इनटू n-1d ऑर्बिटल. सो इलेक्ट्रॉन गेट एंटर इन द इनर शेल्स. ओके, सो इससे क्या होता है, इट विल शील्ड द न्यूक्लियस. सो हियर वी कैन से n-1d में इलेक्ट्रॉन का एंट्री हो रहा है, तो वैलेंस शेल जो है ये क्या करेगा, मतलब वो अंदर वाला इलेक्ट्रॉन जो होगा, आई मीन द इलेक्ट्रॉन विच गेट एडेड, ये न्यूक्लियस को शील्ड करेगा. सो हियर देयर इज अ वी कैन से स्क्रीनिंग इफेक्ट. एट द सेम टाइम एज वी मूव फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट, न्यूक्लियर चार्ज इज आल्सो गोज ऑन इंक्रीजिंग, सो दे विल बैलेंस टुगेदर. I mean they will balance each other. That's why here this increase is not regular. So यहाँ पे इनका जो है increase, ये आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो, irregular increase नहीं है. कहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि you know that such a kind of a graph we can write for them. Point number 3 में आएगा, the first IP of elements of third series are higher than those of the first. The first IP मतलब होता है first आयोनाइजेशन एंथैल्पी. ये 3D सीरीज के लिए अगर आप देखोगे तो ये है यहाँ पे, ये है फर्स्ट सीरीज, ये है सेकंड सीरीज और ये है 3D सीरीज. 3D सीरीज के लिए इनके वैल्यू ज्यादा हाई है. द रीजन इज दैट यू नो दैट यस देयर इज इलेक्ट्रॉन विल आल्सो एंटर इन द 4f सबशेल. सो फॉर 4f सबशेल, for 4f subshell we can say one more thing here. For 4f subshell they are having poor shielding effect. So here, because of the poor shielding effect of the 4f orbitals, the outer electron, I mean electrons present in the outermost shell, they can have a greater pull inside. शील्डिंग इफेक्ट प्रॉपर ना होने की वजह से जो भी इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रेजेंट होगा वैलेंस शेल में, ये न्यूक्लियस की तरफ क्या हो जाएगा, स्ट्रांगली हो जाएगा अट्रैक्ट. तो ऐसे में उस इलेक्ट्रॉन को पुल करना बहुत ही हो जाएगा मुश्किल. दैट इज द रीजन वी कैन से हियर कि इनका जो है आई मीन थर्ड सीरीज का आईपी के वैल्यूज सबसे ज्यादा होते हैं. सो दिस इज द रीजन यू कैन से फॉर द फर्स्ट सीरीज these are the values. Yes, for second series these are the values and these are the values for the third series. Okay, I mean थर्ड सीरीज के लिए आईपी के जो वैल्यू होते हैं ये हमेशा फर्स्ट और सेकंड सीरीज से ज्यादा वैल्यू होंगे. द रीजन इज दैट द पुअर शील्डिंग इफेक्ट ऑफ 4f ऑर्बिटल्स. सो 4f ऑर्बिटल्स के लिए क्या होता है, दे आर हैविंग पुअर शील्डिंग इफेक्ट एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है ये और न्यूक्लियस के बीच में अट्रैक्शन बना रहेगा, ये कम नहीं होगा क्योंकि इनका होता है पुअर शील्डिंग इफेक्ट. मतलब इलेक्ट्रॉन जो होगा आउटर मोस्ट शेल वाला और न्यूक्लियस, इनके बीच में अट्रैक्शन बना रहेगा. तो क्या हो जाएगा, उस इलेक्ट्रॉन को निकाल पाना हो जाएगा मुश्किल. यू नो दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई देयर आईपी वैल्यूज आर ग्रेटर देन द आईपी वैल्यूज ऑफ द फर्स्ट एंड द सेकंड ट्रांजिशन सीरीज. Okay, students, this chapter is very very important because it include lots of concepts. तो मैं समझता हूँ इसके लिए हमें और ज़्यादा lectures लेने पड़ेंगे. ठीक है, I just think that you should write this, write all these things which I have written on the board. Okay. Now after this let's discuss here ionization enthalpy and the thermodynamic stability of the transition metal compounds. You know that these IE values, they can be used to predict the thermodynamic stability of these transition metal compounds. For example, if you see nickel, two compounds, the compounds with the oxidation number of nickel 2, they are more stable than the platinum compounds with the same oxidation state. This can be better explained on the basis of this concept. If you see, students, the IE means here ionization enthalpy values. This is the first and second together. It's a sum of first IP as well as second IP for nickel, and you can see its value is 2.49 into 10 raised to 3. Okay, and for platinum the same value is here. The value of the first and second IP value is here 2.66 into 10 raised to 3. So this note is I have written here. It's a very important to understand this nature, I mean this concept. The smaller the sum of enthalpies needed for transition metal to attain a particular oxidation state, greater is the stability. अगर आप देखोगे तो निकेल के लिए ये वैल्यू कम आ रहा है. The value is 2.49 into 10⁻³ kilojoules per mole, obviously. But for platinum its value is more. Smaller the sum of the first and second IP, greater is the thermodynamic stability. So you can see here, to attain the value of nickel, I mean Ni, to convert Ni into Ni2 plus, that for this less amount of energy will be required than to convert platinum into Pt2 plus. So here, the smaller the sum of the enthalpies needed for transition metals to attain a particular oxidation state, greater is the stability of the compound of that metal in that particular state. So we can say here, Ni2 plus compounds, they are more stable because their sum of IP values is less. So here, now we can say one more thing here. If you take the sum of the first four values of the IP values, IE1, IE2 plus I3, IE3 plus IE4, मतलब अगर आप देखोगे चारों के सम, तो इसके लिए अगर आप देखोगे तो for platinum we can see here the value is 9.36 into 10⁻³, which is less as compared to for nickel. Its value is 11.29 into 10⁻³. So we can say here one more thing here, for platinum 4 plus compounds, they are more stable than, they are more stable than Ni4, the compounds in which nickel will have 4 state. So here इनका अगर आप देखोगे तो इनका वैल्यू यहाँ पे कम आ रहा है. The sum of enthalpies, first four enthalpies for the platinum it's a less as compared to nickel. That's why platinum 4 compounds, they are more stable thermodynamically as compared to nickel 4 compounds. Students, this can be explained, for example, K2 PtCl6, K2 PtCl6, such a compounds can exist. अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे ना, तो अगर हमको निकालना है प्लैटिनम का क्या आता है ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर, सो लेट्स इट इज टेकन टू बी x, k का वैल्यू होता है +1, तो +1 इंटू यहाँ पे मैं लिखता हूँ 2 प्लस x है प्लैटिनम के लिए. Cl का वैल्यू होता है -1 इंटू ये 6, ये कंपाउंड न्यूट्रल है, यहाँ पे कोई चार्ज नहीं है, यहाँ पे आएगा वैल्यू इसका 0. सो वी कैन राइट हियर 2 इंटू +1 इज 2 plus x minus 6 is equal to 0, and that's why x minus 4 is equal to 0, and that's why x is equal to +4. So you can see here प्लैटिनम का अगर यहाँ पे देखा जाए तो प्लैटिनम का यहाँ पे जो स्टेट है ये होगा 4. K2PtCl6, this compound it can exist, but same compound for nickel is not known. निकेल इस तरीके का कोई कॉम्प्लेक्स कंपाउंड नहीं बनाता है. सो दिस कंपाउंड कैन बी सीन, वी कैन एक्सप्लेन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस कंसेप्ट. अंडरस्टैंड? सो K2PtCl6 can be observed, but K2NiCl6, such a kind of a complex is not exist. Okay, so on this basis we can explain this concept properly. Today I just think that we had to stop here. In the next lecture we will see the next important concepts. Till then, take care and goodbye. Note down this one properly.